Welcome, everybody. We have really exciting news. It's going to be great. There's actually something in Congress we're going to talk about. Thanks for joining us on a special episode of. All right, well, here's the big news. There was just a bill introduced in Congress, and one of the things that it's top of the hashtag on the thing that you're looking is hashtag cannabis is essential. So make sure as you share this and tweet it out and really contact your congressional representative. Let's go to how you can actually contact your congressional representative, and I'll just kind of leave that on the bottom. This 202-225-3121 number is actually the House of Representatives that you can call right now and tell them that you are going to support this bill that we're going to go over. But let's talk about it a little bit more. First, the name of the bill is the Emergency Cannabis Small Business Health and Safety Act. It was introduced in the House of Representatives by two members of the House. One's from Oregon, the other one's from Colorado. That shouldn't come as any surprise, as they are two of the most historic legal cannabis states, and their businesses are the most mature, and then therefore would have the least amount of profit, especially out of Oregon. And those businesses should also get relief for COVID-19. And so that is the point of Earl Blumenauer, he's the Democrat from Oregon, and Ed Perlmutter, he's the Democrat from Colorado, who have introduced the Emergency Cannabis Small Business Health and Safety Act. There's some interesting stuff about this besides the hashtag cannabis is essential. It has to do with, what did they call it? Cannabis. They didn't call it marijuana. So now we are going to dig into the actual text of the bill. And so I will share my screen with you. Add to the screen. There you go. I'm just a little guy here. Now I'm a little larger. I'm a little smaller. Larger. Smaller. All right, let's actually get into the bill. We all have things to do, right? And so let's dig into it. This is the 116th section of Congress. And so it's in the House. Like I said, it's in the House. That means, of course, a couple of things. First, there would need to be another stimulus package. And so this is probably going to be in that. But second, this bill would also need to be introduced into the Senate, as these are just both members of Congress. And that number right there, that one, the 202-225-3121, that is the congressional switchboard for the House. So you call that, say, hey, this is my district, this is who my rep is, and then tell your rep to support this bill, become a sponsor of it. Now we're going to go over it in more detail. It's actually a fairly short bill. It's only 6 pages. The link to this bill is actually in the description below, so feel free to go over it itself. Short title, like I said a million times, Emergency Cannabis and Small Business Health and Safety Act. And then it says, notwithstanding any provision of law, meaning AKA the Controlled Substances Act, a business shall not be ineligible for assistance under the Small Businesses Act on the basis that the business is a cannabis-related legitimate business or service provider. Now, that's really important for companies like mine, which, according to the banks that I had to go through while I was trying to get an account for my law firm, I am what they say a Tier 2 MRB, a Tier 2 marijuana-related business, because my law firm represents clients in the cannabis industry. And therefore, I would be considered a service provider, and my business, Collateral Base, visit us at collateralbase.com, would not be able to qualify for all this PPP free money that's out there that other businesses are getting. This bill will change that. Now let's keep going into it. So, eligibility for economic injury disaster loans, emergency grants. That's you've got some CARES Act aspects to it, and the EIDL grants. I'm not sure which ones those are. The CARES Act, and then the Payment Protection Program that's in there, I'm assuming is also covered for it. But it says on the basis that a cannabis-related legitimate business or service provider. So we have to go into, and then here on this it says, it doesn't matter. It's like wherever state or Indian country, and then what they're doing with cannabis, that won't be impacted by it. And then they also have this new one, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, or the CARES Act. I guess bills now have two names. So in definitions, this is where I thought it got really, really cool, because one of the things we always complain about on this show is that they don't call it cannabis at the federal level, they call it marijuana. However, this bill calls it cannabis. Let's see what it does. Under the definitions, it says cannabis. The term cannabis has the meaning given the term marijuana in Section 102 of the Controlled Substances Act. So that's great. They reference that this is a legal term of art called marijuana under federal law, and they go, yeah, we don't care. This is cannabis. But let's talk about the real important one, the cannabis-related legitimate business. Now, these types of things come up all the time. The Safe Banking Act has it. The state Safe Banking Act in Illinois has it. And we're going to do this real quick. It's 10 o'clock. I have a 10 o'clock call, but I can wrap this up and then hop on that call. The term cannabis-related legitimate business means a manufacturer, producer, or any person that engages in activity described in subset paragraph B pursuant to a law established by a state or political subdivision of the state as determined by a state or political subdivision and participates in any business or organized activity that involves handling cannabis or cannabis products, including cultivating, selling, transporting, displaying, dispensing, distributing, or purchasing cannabis or cannabis products. And then manufacturer, okay, producer, service provider. And then, of course, this would be my company. Collateral Base would be a service provider for these cannabis businesses. And that means a business organization or other person that helps. There it is, the ancillary services. So in theory, like Fox Farm or Fish Shit, those guys, or Mephisto Genetics is clearly an actual cannabis company, but the people that are making the lights, I mean, could Osram influence? Could they have even, or Gavita? Could Gavita have accessed the money from the PPP program? I mean, they're a service provider. The reason could Bovida, but again, remember, we're still giving away Bovidas. Oh crap! My 10 o'clock call's coming. But thank you for joining us. Don't forget to call 202-225-3121 and also check out this bill. It is down there. And don't forget to hashtag it and share this up by saying hashtag cannabis is essential. And that hashtag, of course, is on the stuff that I've left for you. I would get to comments. I'm sorry, I'm really not able to. I really have to dip off of here. But, just keep watching, keep liking and subscribing. I will see you on the next episode of